Welcome to the Enigmatic Abyss, the channel where we explore hauntings, disappearances, and enigmas which elude a modern understanding. Get your favorite snack and settle in. Today, we will look at the enigmatic legend of the Whispering Homestead. In the small town of Mobridge, South Dakota, there stood an old, abandoned house that the locals only referred to in hushed tones as the Whispering Homestead. It was said that the house was once the pride of the town, built by a wealthy family in the early 1900s. But tragedy struck when the family's only daughter, Eliza, vanished without a trace on the eve of her wedding. Her room on the second floor, facing the weeping willow in the yard, remained untouched, as if waiting for her return. The Whispering Homestead, as it came to be known, has a history as enigmatic as the murmurs that echo its halls. The estate's origins are shrouded in the mists of time, but the tale begins with a man named Cornelius Hargrave, a wealthy industrialist with a passion for the occult and the unexplained. In the late 1800s, Cornelius sought to build a home unlike any other, a place where he could explore the boundaries between the living and the dead. He chose a secluded spot near Mobridge, South Dakota, where the wind whispered through the grasslands, and the stars seemed close enough to touch. The construction of the estate was a marvel of its time, with innovations and designs that were ahead of the era. Cornelius filled the home with rare books, curious artifacts, and oddities from around the world. He was particularly fascinated with acoustics and designed the house in such a way that whispers could carry from one end to the other, a feature that would later give the estate its name. Cornelius lived there with his wife, Isabella, and their 2 children. The family was known to be reclusive, rarely seen by the townsfolk, and rumors began to spread. It was said that Cornelius conducted strange experiments, attempting to contact the spirit world, and that he had even managed to open a portal to the other side. One fateful night, a terrible storm swept across the plains, and the estate was struck by lightning. The next morning, the townspeople found the house empty. The Hargrave family had vanished without a trace, leaving behind only the whispers that seemed to speak of their fate. As years turned into decades, the Whispering Homestead passed through many hands, but none could stay for long. The whispers grew louder, and shadows moved in the corners of the eyes. Some claimed to see Isabella's ghostly figure in the gardens at twilight, or to hear the laughter of children fading into the wind. Years passed, and the house fell into disrepair, its once vibrant walls now a canvas for the creeping ivy and its windows staring like empty eyes. The townsfolk avoided the place, claiming it was cursed, for at night, a soft whispering could be heard, like the rustling of silk dresses, and sometimes, a figure was seen standing by the window, the silhouette of a young woman. One curious soul, a writer named James, who had recently moved to Mobridge, became fascinated with the legend. He decided to spend a night in the Whispering Homestead, hoping to find inspiration for his next novel. Armed with a flashlight and a notepad, he entered the house as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of crimson and gold. The house was eerily silent, save for the creaking of the wooden floors under his feet. As he made his way to the second floor, the whispers began. Soft at first, they grew louder, swirling around him, words indistinguishable. James pressed on, determined to discover the source. He reached Eliza's room and slowly pushed the door open. Moonlight spilled across the dust-covered furniture, casting long shadows. And there, by the window, stood a figure in a faded wedding gown, her back to him. James called out, but the figure remained still. He approached, his heart pounding, and as he reached out to touch her shoulder, she turned. Her face was pale, her eyes hollow, and she spoke in a voice that was barely a breath, "Help me." Startled, James stumbled backward, and the figure vanished into thin air, leaving behind a cold gust of wind that extinguished his flashlight. In the darkness, he heard the whispers again, now clear, repeating a name, Jonathan. James fled the house, the whispers chasing him into the night. He spent the following days researching and discovered that Jonathan was the name of Eliza's betrothed, who had also disappeared that fateful night. Determined to uncover the truth, James delved deeper into the town's history and found an old diary belonging to Eliza, hidden in the local library's archives. The diary revealed a tale of forbidden love and a planned elopement. Eliza and Jonathan had planned to run away together, but on the night they were to leave, they were discovered by Eliza's father, who forbade their union. In despair, they vowed to reunite in the afterlife and took their own lives. Armed with this knowledge, James returned to the Whispering Homestead, calling out to the spirits of Eliza and Jonathan. He promised to tell their story, to give them the peace they never found in life. As he spoke, the whispers faded, and for the first time in decades, the house fell silent. James kept his word, writing a novel that brought the tragic love story of Eliza and Jonathan to the world. And though the Whispering Homestead still stood, the haunting ceased, the spirits finally at rest, their love story immortalized in the pages of James's book. What do you think of this haunting story? Write it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more enigmatic stories.